Hey y'all, it's Sycamoria. I wanted to give you a quick tutorial of Galaxyfinder just to show you around a little bit. I do have some other videos on using Galaxyfinder and mapping from Eve at the same time, so I would encourage you to look at those as far as how to get signatures into Galaxyfinder. But I wanted to just spend a couple of minutes walking you through what this is. So Galaxyfinder is the tool that we use as our wormhole mapper. This is uh, it uses the Eve ESIs from your account. So I'm logged in as Sycamoria, and based on the fact that I belong to Soltech Armada, this is connecting me directly to that map. It's a quiet day in the system right now, so it'll kind of be a simple tutorial. So this is our home system. We currently have two wormholes. We have a low sec and a C4. Um, this wormhole, if you notice, has a red pipe on it. That is because this wormhole is on the verge of collapse. People have been rolling that hole, so we not recommend going down that chain because you'll likely get caught in behind that. So a little bit about Galaxyfinder. It is a tool that's written by a longtime Eve player. Although I don't believe he plays Eve anymore, but he still continues to create this tool. He does have a Discord channel, which you can find. We have a link to that on our Discord as well. So Galaxyfinder is a mapping tool. Within this current home system, I've pasted in the signatures. So it knows that we have these signatures and then also these anomalies within that current space. Some other things that it does show you is how many jumps it is to certain um, main hubs. So for JITA, to get into the C3, the shortest is a 22 jump. But the secure way to get here, or the most secure way to get here, is 63 jumps from JITA, for example. For the low sec, if I click here, again, I'm going to see the signatures there and the anomalies that are in that system. Now I have known jumps, secure jumps, or the shortest. So again, I can kind of pick and choose, like if I'm trying to get to Amar or JITA or just, Dodixie, one of the major hubs. This is how you can tell how many jumps there are. There's a couple of things just around informational. If you have a wormhole that has particular effects that will actually show up, you can hover over it. It will tell you if there's, like a red giant hole has particular effects to ships or to systems. And that will tell you about it. You have options of being able to set some other statuses so that your corporation knows. So if something is occupied or maybe they're hostile, maybe it's a friendly corp, empty, you can click here to say that this was scanned down if you needed to, or unscanned. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this. I'm going to go back up here to the home and take a look at a couple of these wormholes. When you jump through a hole, it will actually pop up over here with a window to ask you what system you jumped through if it does not know yet where you are. So when you're scanning down for the first time. So when you're doing that, you always want to make sure that you click that. I do show that in some other scanning and mapping videos. But some of the details that I don't necessarily get into is when you edit a wormhole, you have the ability to say what class it is, but then also you can say whether or not something is stable, the size of it, or whether or not it's end of life. So if I look at Riz over here, the C4, if I take a look at that info, you're going to see that the status is Verge. I marked that based on what I saw in Eve this morning, and so that is verged. You don't want to get in on the other side of it. You can also set the size of a hole as well. So if it's just a frigate or large or very large, so on and so forth, you can do that also. When you jump through a hole, um, and you come out here and you tell it what hole you just jumped through, it will actually fill in like the system name and things like that. Um, so just an FYI on that. Let me cancel that. Also up here on the right hand side, so currently I'm on Soltech and I'm on Angel's Perch. This gives you an indicator that we always have a low sec static in the identifier, so U210. That's important because if we get a lot of wormholes in our system, you could have more than one low sec. You'll always want to look for the U210 to determine which one is our static hole. And we do have a chain called static for that in particular. You also have some other information up here that just some different things that you can click on. So this will, Anoinkus will tell you um, data about that particular system that you're in. There's also .lan, a link to .lan. You can have a link to the kill board as well, which will tell you what's been going on within the system as far as that. And then if there's any intelligence on this chain, you can click there and it will let you know if there's been any kills within that chain. So I use the intel quite a bit. So there's kills, that's who's in the system, any structures or timers that might be in the system, and then any additional information on that. So the intel is always really good. So if you're not sure you want to jump down a chain or not, you can, if you're curious how active it is, you can jump over here and see how active that is. So that's just the quick tutorial. Again, we do have a link to at least all of the updates and announcements that we get from Galaxyfinder from Chingy. And this is the gentleman that manages this tool. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and please reach out to me if you have any additional questions.